Welcome, everyone, to the Voice Podcast. I am your host, Miranda Walker, and today's episode is The Power of Positivity and Leadership. And we have the legendary himself, my mentor, the voice who has been amplified throughout the nation. He has been motivating individuals. He is cultivating his craft and helping individuals to tell their story. It is Mr. Les Brown himself, you guys. Let's give it up for him. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on today's podcast. I'm so elated to have you on today, to be in the presence of a legend such as yourself. And so I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself. I've done your introduction, but it's better when you do it.
Well, I'm shocked as I look at you now. I guess you decided that blondes have more fun, so you decided to change things up a little bit. All right, I got to talk to Joseph and ask him what's going on.
Yes!
Well, you're in Florida, and I was born in Liberty City.
Yes.
And my birth mother, she was in Gainesville, Florida, when my twin brother and we were conceived. And so she came down to Miami to give birth to us. And she went to Jackson Memorial Hospital when she's in labor, and they wouldn't accept her because at that time, Blacks were not allowed to go to Jackson Memorial Hospital. I'm 80. And so they found an abandoned building. And so she and my birth father, I just discovered all of this in the last few years.
Wow.
They gave birth to us and then put us in foster care. And then ultimately, Mrs. Mamie Brown adopted us out of foster care. And I always say, God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. And so all that I am, and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother.
Yes.
So that's it in a nutshell. I went to Douglas Elementary School south of you there in Overtown. And when I was in the 5th grade, I was put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, labeled educable, mentally retarded, failed again in the 8th grade at Booker T. Washington High School, the Tornadoes.
Wow.
But I had a high school teacher who had very much like your kind of personality, a person who was inspired to bring the best out of people. And he challenged me one day. I was looking for a friend named MacArthur Stevens, and he said, "Young man, go to the board and work this problem out for me." And I said, "Sir, I can't do that." He said, "Why not?" I said, "I'm not one of your students." He said, "Do what I'm asking you to do anyhow."
Yes.
And I said, "I can't, sir." And then the other students started laughing, saying, "He's Leslie. He's got a twin brother, Wesley. Wesley is smart. He's DT." And he asked, "What's DT?" And they said, "He's the dumb twin." And they all erupted in laughter. And he looked at me for my response. And I said, "I am, sir." And he came from behind his desk and he said, "Don't ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Do you hear me?"
Absolutely.
And I said, "Yes, sir." And so what we're talking about today is something that I live. How people live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves. I believe them. Faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. And they called me the dumb twin. But when Mr. Washington spoke, he interrupted my thinking.
Wow.
What we do as speakers and as coaches, and this is what you do on a regular basis with your program, we distract, dispute, and inspire. We distract people from the current story that they bought into, that they picked up from the world. Be ye not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
You better come
You
on.
distract them from their current story, and you dismantle their current belief system based upon your approach and the guests that you have on and insights that they share and things they've overcome. And you inspire them to have the courage to turn the page and become, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God and start writing a new chapter in their lives.
Wow, that is amazing. Oh my God. You guys heard it. You don't have to be what people say you are. You don't have to own up to that, but own up to your true identity, who God say you is. You're more than a conqueror. You're above and not beneath. You're the apple of God's eye. So you guys go out and be all who God has called and ordained you to be. And that brings us to our first question. You have inspired millions with your message. What role has positively played in shaping your leadership style over the years?
Well, all leaders must come from a place of optimism. Most people
Mm,
suffer from possibility blindness. A
absolutely.
person who is in a negative mindset, they can look at opportunities, but they will only see the obstacles. But a
Yes.
person who's optimistic, they could be confronted with obstacles and all they will see will be the opportunities. So this era where we are, it's the era of opportunity. We can do more and achieve more now than we can ever had the opportunity to do before. Because just with this cell phone, we have access to infinite information. So right now, in this era where there's no such thing as job security, right now, just think about this, Miranda.
Yes.
Right now, based upon the contraction of the economy as it's shrinking, projections are coming out now that people who are living from paycheck to paycheck within a very short time before the end of the year, over 60% are going to lose everything they have within less
Wow.
than a year,
My God.
because we're in an era where people have to reskill and they must become computer savvy
Mm-hmm.
and they have to be in what you have created, a community of collaborative, achievement driven, supportive relationships where people come together and
Yes.
share ideas, people have same values and goals and dreams of how we can work together to help each other to move forward.
Wow, that's amazing. And so I want to encourage each and every individual. It is time to give birth to that gift, that talent that's on the inside of you, that thing that has been stirred up and been waiting to come out. It's time to give birth to that business, to that new idea, to that invention. You guys have it. What you need is on the inside of you. And I want to challenge you to bring it forth because, like Mr. Brown says, things are changing, circumstances are changing, situations are changing, job opportunities, it's changing and it's changing fast. But you have something that the world needs. It's your gift, it's your talent, and it's time to bring it forth. And so that brings us to the second question. That was amazing. I mean, you said a mouthful right there, Mr. Brown. And so it brings us to the question then, what moments of adversity have you had personal had to personally maintain a positive mindset and lead others through challenges? Very oftentimes we have our own problems, but for our individual with your status, an individual that people are pulling on from the right and from the left, how are you able to keep a positive mindset and a positive state of mind when so many people are depending on you and your gift and your talent and what you have to offer to the world today? How are you able to keep a
Well,
positive
first of all,
mindset?
they're not people that are depending upon me. They're people who resonate with the message that I bring because it's in them. But
Yes.
I encourage everyone. I have a ritual. When I get up in the morning, I have an affirmation that I say to myself, Lord, whatever I face today, together you and I can handle it. We know that life be life and stuff's going to
Yes.
happen to you. It's going to happen to me. It's going to happen to people that we care about. And
Absolutely.
so I write down 7 things that I'm grateful for. When I first get up, I said, thank you, Lord, I'm still here. Everything else is gravy. So I
Yes.
write down, I think about 7 things that I'm grateful for. I make my gratitude list. The next thing that I do is I determine what is it that I want out of the day. Most people, when they get up in the morning, they go on automatic. They're just going through the day. But the
Yes.
1% who are successful, they have an agenda for their day. If you don't have an agenda for your day, you're part of somebody else's agenda. So I write
Wow.
down the things that I want to get out of this day. And this
Absolutely.
show is a very good example. Let me share something with you. My
Yes.
grandchildren, I have 15 grandchildren, and they ask me, Papa, that's my name, Papa, if you had some advice that you wanted to give us, what would it be as we grow into adulthood? And I said, live your life the way you want to leave your life.
Wow.
And what I mean by that, I always, when I do certain self development training, I ask people, if you had 6 months to live, what would you do differently? And when I ask that question on occasion speaking at corporations,
Yes.
everyone say, I would quit my job. I wouldn't come in. And there are many who say, I would get a divorce or leave the person that I'm with. But if I
Oh
had
my
six
God.
months to live, I would do this program. I would do more Zoom calls. I would make more personal appearances. I would do more seminars and workshops. I'll spend each day looking for people that I can inspire and ignite the greatness in them, the hunger to do whatever is required to turn their lives around.
Yes.
When you live your life the way that you want to, you find what is it that I'm supposed to do. We all have a purpose. There's a reason we've been deployed. There's something in us that we have that no one else have that. And
Yes.
so what I encourage people to do is find something that's you, something that resonates with you. The 40-40 plan is gone, where you can go to college and graduate and expect to get a job and work for 40 years. That's gone. We see federal employees, thousands are being fired when someone go and get a
Yes.
job. Now
Yes.
that's different. And so there's no such thing as job security. And we are living in a time where over 325 million jobs will be replaced by artificial
My
intelligence.
God.
So we have to continue to learn and to grow and to find something that we can do, something that they say a calling is something that you love so much that you do it for nothing, and you do
Yes.
it so well that people will pay you to do it. So, what is the calling on your life? And I had a moment in my life that I had to determine what is it that I want to do with my life? What is it that mean that if I am faced with conflicts or controversies or failure or disappointment, that will give me the capacity, that's something that I want, my reason for being that gives my life meaning, will give me the capacity to push through. My first major goal has always been I wanted to take care of my mother. And I
Yes.
never forget, I just got elected for the third time, first African American elected to that position. And my sister Margaret Ann called me, who lives in Opa-locka. And she said, Leslie, she asked me, are you sitting down? And I asked, what's wrong with Mama? She said,
Wow.
Mama has breast cancer. I said,
Jesus.
I'll be right there. She said, no, no, no. Listen, they have a lot of good nursing homes in Dade County. And so we will find one that will be suitable for her. I said, listen to me.
Hmm.
Don't touch her. I promise, Mama, when she was raising us, she used to say she used to work in a nursing home and she never wanted to go to one. I promise her she would not go to one. Now, listen, I just could not understand how can one woman, a single mother, raise six, seven children
Yes.
that she didn't give birth to. I was among that seven children, but seven grown people can't take care of one woman.
My
Hell
God.
to the no, I'll be there.
Okay.
And
That's what
Miranda,
I'm
I'll
talking
never
about.
forget. Yes, I'll never forget, Miranda, when I rang the doorbell. A friend of hers, name is Mildred, she was there. And she came to the door. She said, oh my God, it's Leslie. And Mama asked, who's at the door? And she said, it's Leslie. And I heard my mother say, I knew he would come.
Wow.
I knew he would come. And I ask all of you, what is it as you look at your life? What is it that resonates with you? What is it that gives your life a sense of meaning? Who is it that was there for you when you couldn't be there for yourself?
My God.
And what are you willing to do that if life happens, we're taught, think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might. You will have tribulations. What is it you need to do to put yourself in a position if something happens to someone that you love, that you can do more than just pray for them, that you
Mm-hmm.
can help them, that you can say, I got you. And that's
Yes.
how I've lived my life. I am driven and inspired, even as Mama has made her transition, that I always want to make her proud of me. And I know that she's watching me, and my birth mother. My birth mother name was Dorothy Bell Rucker. Just found this out in 2021.
Yes.
So I have this song that I hum to myself around the house. I've got two mothers and I'm not ashamed. I've got two mothers and I
You
love
better
them
come
just the
on.
same. So I have both of
Yes.
their yeah, I have both of their pictures up in my living room.
Wow. That's amazing because I love that. You want to be a reflection that will impact and inspire someone. You want to be a seed in the fruit of that seed that's able to produce a harvest in your life. You want to be one of integrity and character. Who are you there for? What do you represent with your life? And that's a question I want to pose. Are you being the best version of yourself? Are you making God proud about what he has created? Or are you just stirring up all that greatness that's on the inside of you? I encourage each and every individual that's watching to tap into your greatness. God has made you perfectly and wonderfully made. The apple of his eye. And if he see you to be the apple of his eye, it's time to live like it. It's time to put the work in. It's time to pull out the best that's on the inside of you. So I'm encouraging each individual on today to tap into your greatness. You have greatness on the inside of you, like Les Brown always say. But you got to be hungry. Are you hungry? And
You
so
know, I'd
that
like
brings
for
us
you to
to
ask, yeah, why don't you, first of all, make it possible for people to ask me some questions so we can make it interactive. I appreciate that. And the statement that you just made is very,
absolutely.
very
So you
suitable.
guys, you can drop your questions right there in the link and we'll ask the questions and he'll answer the questions. If you have any questions, let's make this interesting and excitement. You have an opportunity to get wisdom from someone who has made an impact on millions of lives. So here's your opportunity. Ask the questions. Don't be scared now.
Don't be scared. Now, what is your next question, please, as people are about to do that?
Okay, so the next question is, what is the biggest misconception people have about positive thinking and leadership?
I think that people think if you're in a positive state of mind or you adhere to that, that things are not going to happen to you. Bad
Mm,
things happen to good people all the time. It's called life. And what we have to acknowledge that when you change your perspective on how you see things, there are some things that happen to us that at the time they happen, it seems like a bad thing. But as we go back and look at our lives and go into the future, that that's something that happened. It was a blessing. For instance, when I was fired from radio in
mhm.
WVKO radio station in Columbus, Ohio, for editorializing against police brutality,
Yes.
that at that time, I said, this is all that I know. And I thought that was like the end of my world because other radio stations would not hire me because they saw me as being controversial. At the time when I had demonstrations demanding that police be fired at this restaurant called the Kahiki Incident in Columbus, Ohio. Well, during that time, it was not illegal for police to brutalize us,
My
and
God.
there were no consequences.
Yes.
And so, but had I not been fired, I would not have become a state legislator. Had I
Mhm.
not been fired, I would not have produced specials on public television raising millions of dollars. Had I not been fired and I had to reinvent myself as people have to do today, I would not be speaking and been able to impact millions of people around the world. Helen Keller says that when one door closes, another door opens, but
Yes.
most people spend time talking about and looking at the closed door. They don't see the open door where there are greater opportunities and blessings waiting for you.
That's amazing. I love a quote that you say. You say, if you fall down, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And that's a word for somebody today. I don't know what the situation that you feel like you fell down, but it's time to get up. You have greatness on the inside of you, and it's time for you to get up out of that place, out of that low place, out of that place of hopelessness, out of that place of faithless. It's time for you to bet on yourself. Any questions for our guests?
I have a question right here from Sierra. It is, how can you use what you have survived in life to teach others to push forward in 3 easy steps?
Sierra, when she asked the question, how can you repeat it again, please?
How can you use what you have survived in life to teach others to push forward in 3 easy steps?
Okay, very good. Number one, get some coaching on how you can take your story and develop the skills so that you can tell your story strategically so that people see themselves in your story. And as a result, they say to themselves, if she can do that, I can overcome this. So get some coaching. You can't read the label when you're in the box. You have to have someone who's experienced, who's achieved what you want to achieve, who's where you want to be. And based upon their experience and knowledge and wisdom, it will shorten your learning curve. Don't just try and wing it by yourself, because it's very important. And this is the next step. When you're sharing your story, that you create an experience for the audience. What do you mean? Most people, when they speak, because they're not trained, they just give information. If information could change people, everybody would be skinny, rich, and happy. They can Google Chat GPT, I call it Shalid, and get
Yes.
information. So it's about creating an experience and speaking so that people not just hear you, but they feel you in their heart. Whether your heart is there, your treasure is also.
Yes.
And the other thing is, start doing it. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he spoke and gave the speech, I Have a Dream, over 200 times before he spoke at the Washington Monument. The best version of that speech that I heard was in Detroit. It was much better. But when he was speaking in Washington, D.C., he was starting on another track and other points that he was making. And he had been doing I Have a Dream so much, it did not have the same value for him. But if you listen closely, you hear Mahalia Jackson, the great gospel singer, say, tell him, Martin, about the dream. Tell him about the dream, Martin, about the dream. And then he started, I have a dream, and went into that segment of his presentation. And it really made a dramatic difference and impacted people to this day. So speaking and record yourself and have someone to evaluate you honestly, because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. And you want someone who's experienced, who has a track record that can give you some caring feedback so that iron sharpening iron, you can get better at it. Your story, that story you're sitting on, somebody is waiting on.
Absolutely.
There are people who will hear me, they'll hear Miranda, but there are people that's a part of your tribe that will hear you. And that, what you went through, the Red Seas that you've crossed over,
Wow.
it's going to help millions of people around the globe. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Next question, please.
Yes. Do we have any more questions in the Zoom?
Yeah, let's see what else we got.
Okay.
I have Australia Green saying, anchor question mark. What keeps you anchored in this life?
Wow, that's amazing.
What keeps me anchored is my purpose. I believe that I was born to do this. I believe that we were deployed. All of us have something in us that the world needs. You and I, you were chosen out of 400 million sperm. God had a lot of choices.
Yes.
And there's something that we're supposed to do for a long time. I didn't see this, Les Brown. Mike Williams, who wrote the book, and I encourage you to get it, called The Road to Your Best Stuff, The Road to Your Best Stuff. I wrote the foreword for it. And he was at the radio station with me, and he said, hey, Brownie. I said, yes. He said, are you open to a candid conversation? I said, yeah, what's up? He said, man, you're more than a disc jockey. I said, what do you mean? I got the #1 show. And at that time, I was LB Triple P, Les Brown, your platter plate papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single
Yes.
and loved, certified, bona fide, doubly qualified to bring you satisfaction, a whole lot of action. Look out, baby, I'm your love man. Those are my pre-saved years, okay? And he
Yes.
said, you can use the microphone to not just entertain people, but to empower them, to educate them. And I think it's very important for us to practice the principle of OQP, only quality people. It's very
Wow.
important to have people in your life that can see stuff in you that you can't see and that will believe in you until your belief kicks in. And so that's why I do what I do, because this is the calling on my life. A job is what you get paid for. A calling is what you're made for.
Wow.
Next question, please.
It's amazing. We have any other questions in there?
I believe there's one more.
One more question. We're going to go ahead and answer that one.
Kiana's saying, who is someone that you consider a mentor in the beginning of your career?
Mike Williams.
Mike
That's
Williams.
why I encourage you to get the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff, because it'll give you a systematic step to, first of all, discovering your best stuff. He helped me to discover my power voice and how to use my story and how to monetize my story. Just think about it today. Today is very important. And listen to me. I am 80, so I've seen a thing or two.
Yes.
And I know a thing or two. Today, you want to create 5 buckets of income. This is a land of opportunity. There are a lot of things that's going on now. The leadership is trying to turn back the hands of time. They can't do it because we are powerful. If you just take your story or your knowledge or some skill that you have, when I came along, there was no such thing as LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook. Those things, those tools did not exist. I was going from city to city. And my first recording was on a cassette tape. Now, millenniums don't know about that.
Wow.
When I came along, when you wanted to make a phone call, you had to call a long distance operator if you wanted to make a long distance call. When I came along, we had telephone booths where you could go where Superman used to change clothes to go make a call for a dime, okay?
Okay.
I used to make people in their 40s for old. I say, I'm so old, I served at the Lord's Supper, but I got a lot of good tips.
Yes.
So, but today you can take your knowledge, #1, and develop your communication skills to establish credibility about yourself, about your business, about your product, about the service that you provide. Steve Jobs, he said, the storyteller is the most powerful person in the world. So to be able to present yourself, #1. #2, to package your knowledge, your information, and sell that product. Have an online course that people can purchase that product online. That's another bucket of income. Being paid to speak, to present, have a seminar or workshop, or have a retreat where people come and spend 2 to 3 days with you in an immersion process, interacting with other like-minded people, have goals and dreams and things that they're working on. And so you can make money from your masterminds, you can make money from your speaking, you can make money from your products, and you can make money from your consulting. Between now and 2032, this industry, the self-development industry, is $1 billion a day. It will be $1 trillion a day. And over 2 billion people will be looking for ways in which they can retool, reskill, and to be able to become their own boss, to create their own job, because jobs that we take for granted today will be eliminated. I mean, I just talked to my business partner. He was in California and he saw these cars that are automated. Nobody was driving them, they were being controlled by a computer. So, my grandson, Trey, he got a job. He went to school and graduated with honors. He wanted to become a CPA after working 3 months in Columbus, Ohio. My grandson and 1/3 of the staff, they were replaced by artificial intelligence, by
Wow.
chat GPT.
Yeah.
And so he lost his jobs. Fortunately, I'm his grandfather, and so now he works for me. And so this is a time that we have to be creative. We were created by the Creator to create. We are going through what is called creative destruction. And when I was a kid, I used to work at a bowling alley. They knocked the pins down. Me and some other kids, we would straighten the pins up. Then somebody created an electronic tray that replaced us. When I was a kid, I used to be an elevator guy. And people get on the elevator, and the elevator was operated manually. What floor, please? And they would tell me, and then we would close the door and push the button. But now someone created an elevator that didn't require someone to be on there, and they could just get on and push the button, and we'll take them to their designated floor. So we're going through rapid era of what Peter Drucker calls the era of the three C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. And that's why you don't want to try and do this thing life by yourself.
Yes.
You want to have people around you who know more than you, people around you who have resources, contacts, relationships, credibility that you don't have that can help you to create momentum and move you in the direction of the life that you want to create.
Absolutely. Wow, that's amazing. And with so much going on with I want to encourage you guys. AI don't have your authenticity. AI don't have your story, and AI don't have emotions to express and get to one's heart. So we have an advantage. We have an advantage to create and be the best version of ourselves through authenticity and telling our story. That's something AI just can't do. And so you have opportunity. Mr. Brown, if someone wanted to be mentored by you, me and you have done some wonderful things together. I co-author a book with you. You mentored me, and so for an individual that want to be mentored, I want to know how can that individual reach you for mentorship or any project that they want to do in the future with you.
Well, I'm working with a limited number of people. And because this stage of my life, I'm looking for people that are serious, that want to invest in themselves, but also who want to master what they do. This is an era. There's a book that was written called Average is Over.
Mm-hmm.
Being average just won't cut it now. You want to be so good at what you do that you become a dominant force, that you stand out in the minds of people. And if that's you, if you're hungry to dominate and to bring out your greatness, email me and mention, Miranda, that you listen to this program. We'll do something special with you, but we got to vet you. I don't work with everybody. And email me at lesbrown77@gmail.com. Seven is my lucky number. lesbrown77@gmail.com. I want to say to you that the fact that you're listening to Miranda, that you have something special. What do you mean by that? Most people, the majority of people, have been programmed just to consume entertainment. Most, I see guys on the internet talk about who's the GOAT, Kobe or LeBron or Michael Jordan. They couldn't even afford tickets to the game, okay?
Yeah.
Or there's a new dance out. Bring the fans out, get the boots out, whatever. It, this place where we are right now, it's
Yes.
for people who want to make it, for people who want to learn how to leverage artificial intelligence. Every day, I'm learning something today that I did not know yesterday.
Absolutely.
Robert Schuller said something that's very important. He said, you either expand or you are expendable. And most people, they're expendable. because they haven't upgraded their knowledge. Most people stop learning and spend more time consuming entertainment. Miranda put
Yes.
this program together to teach you, one, how to master something that you love that gives your life a sense of purpose and meaning. Two, to invest in yourself because you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are.
Wow.
Three, that relationships matter. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. Four, activate your faith because in order to do the things that you want to do, it's going to take courage. And courage is not the absence of fear, but courage is having the faith to do what you want to do in spite of the fear. D, discipline. Socrates said that the undisciplined life is an insane life. And
Yes.
always give your best at all time and under all circumstances. You have something special. You have
Yes.
greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Wow. Yes, that's amazing, you guys. Put some fire in the comments for that great information, that wisdom. I mean, I'm just so excited to have you on today. Me being a mentee of yours, tell the people a little about me. What do you think about Miranda Walker?
First of all, I like the fact that you're hungry.
Yes.
You're an entrepreneur and you're fearless. You are relentless. I admire that about you. And you're willing to be a risk taker. Viscott said, if you're not willing to risk, you can't grow.
My
And if you can't grow, you can't become your best. And if you can't become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? Helen Keller said, life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. And so you are teaching women and men, and I've
yes.
learned things from you of how to find something that resonates with your heart, something that feeds your spirit, that it gives you a reason to jump up in the morning, that you don't have to have an alarm clock, something that resonates with who you are. That's the greater work. You know,
The
the
greater
least that
work.
you do unto these, my brethren, you do it also unto me. You're teaching people how to do the greater work. Herein my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit.
Wow.
So this program that you have is designed to teach people how to live a fruitful life, a purpose-driven life.
Yes.
To God be the glory. My hat goes up.
Yes. Thank you. Well, you guys, there you have it. This was our phenomenal show with the legendary himself. I am so glad you guys tuned in. If there's any final things you want to leave with the people on today, Mr. Brown?
Yes, you know, as a father, as a grandfather of 15 and a great grandfather of 5, here's something that I encourage you to do. Miles Monroe said, Les Brown, there's no success without successors. He said, you've got to train others how to do what you've done to build a legacy. Think in terms of legacy. Don't get caught up in the distractions that are going on now. They're purposeful and strategic.
Yes.
Focus on things that you can do. Make you and your health a priority.
Yes.
A person with the health have 1,000 dreams. A person without the health only have one.
Wow.
That's to get better. I'm a 39-year fourth stage cancer conqueror. And the final thing, and really take this in, don't be the go-to person. People you can't go to.
That's
I'm going to repeat it.
amazing.
Don't be the go-to person for people you can't go to. Surround yourself with people that you have each other's back. There are a lot of vampires out here that will suck your time and your energy.
Yes.
People say it's not what you know, it's who you know. No, it's who you know and what they know about you. Everybody can't call me and ask me to do a podcast. But Miranda calls,
What?
I answer her because she's a quality person, even though she's a little off and be making all these sounds while I'm talking.
Okay.
But that's who she is, okay?
I appreciate
Okay,
you.
look here. And in the words of Miranda, bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, guys. It was an amazing episode on today. We appreciate you. See you next time. Hey guys, I am Miranda Walker, and I am excited to be here on the Voice Podcast today. Today, I have a special guest. I need you guys to get excited and make some noise today. We have King Yahweh, the philanthropist. We have the peace advocate. We have the King of Ghana. He is a great influence, a man of integrity, impact, and he is making a major impact. Like DJ Khaled say, major key. I want him to introduce himself to you guys, for you guys that are watching right now. So, King Yahweh, it's on you. Okay. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am one that has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful team that surrounds me.
Absolutely.
And because of that, we've been able to do some things over the last 15 years that I'm very proud of. Okay. And we've been able to help people that have problems or they struggle helping themselves. So, wow. And more importantly, we come in the name Yahweh, and you can't get no better than that.
Absolutely. Well, you guys heard it for yourself. Yes. So he is making an impact, and I love what he has going on because unity is a key. And so we're here today. We're going to talk about leadership, because there are a lot of people that are leading. You have some celebrities that are celebrities, but they're not great leaders, and some leaders who are not celebrities. And I just want to bring our attention onto leadership today. I have a question I want to ask and I want to pose. So how has leadership evolved over the last decade with, around the world, leadership? How important is leadership? How impactful is leadership? What is the source and the substance of leadership for today?
We are in a special time. Absolutely. And some people would say we have gone backwards.
My God.
Because in time past, yes, being a leader was more than just a title.
Wow.
We find people now who are serving as leaders.
Absolutely.
They do it more for allowing it to be a job versus allowing it to come from the heart.
Absolutely.
We lost our leaders that did it with passion, to where they did it oftentimes in the past. Money wasn't a part of it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't important. It wasn't for clout. It's because they was born to do what they do. Yes. And they had something inside of them that made it where I want to help somebody else, and their passion for others was greater than for themselves. Yes. We lost that. Somehow, some way, over the years, maybe it could be because of certain ones in the media.
Yes.
Certain ones that were bad influences, obviously. Absolutely. And they turned being a leader into Hollywood. And one of the things that when we look at some of the scriptures, mm-hmm, in terms of have it be the Quran, yes, or have it be the Bible, mm-hmm, one of the things I think we kind of gravitated to, and we should not have done it, certain churches, and it's okay if they choose to, yes, they elect their leaders.
Wow.
And I come from a background where that you had people ask the audience, mm-hmm, do they accept the person, yes, or do they reject the person?
Wow.
That's not what the Bible teaches.
Absolutely.
Is that the ones that were chosen by Yahweh, chosen by God Almighty, they were just chosen. They were not chosen by the people per se.
Correct.
And this is the greatest thing that we have lost. And like I said, Hollywood has got involved, yes, to where they want to do it because of a paycheck. They see all the love, the admiration, and respect, yes, versus allowing it to be the motivation of saying, look, I want to help someone. Absolutely. And that's what we have lost.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I believe, like what you said, they're doing it for clout, and they're doing it, and they're not anointed to do it, mm-hmm, and they don't even have the grace, mm-hmm, to do it. And it's, mm-hmm, a very dangerous thing when someone is operating in a position or an office that they have not been ordained to do, mm-hmm, because they lose integrity, they lose character, and they don't know how to uphold that position. Mm-hmm. And we have to find a way to bring that back together and to bridge those gaps. And with what you're doing, your movement and what you represent, I believe that's a start.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And if I may say this, a
Absolutely.
lot of our modern leaders, they are selected through the people.
Through the people.
And, and to have a good leader, you must have the passion to where I would die for
Wow.
for the people. It's not even a question. And that's a different type of marriage of love. A true leader loves their people.
Absolutely.
They treat one like all. If his people are not eating, he will not eat.
Come on.
And one of the things that was mentioned earlier, we have been doing this for quite some time, for just about 2 decades.
Wow.
And I am a leader in Ghana.
Yes.
And they came to me. They came to me and asked me, because of the things we were doing here in the U.S. and other countries as well. And they said they needed help within a particular region. Well, two of them did.
Wow.
And because of the fact that I did not ask, but they came to us.
Yes.
I tell anyone, I didn't ask for the throne seat. I tell anyone and tell anybody clearly that I was a king before I became one.
That's it. Absolutely.
And just like you're a queen, you came out of the womb as a queen.
Yes.
And it didn't take someone to tell me that I was one. I knew it from my heart, from my spirit, from my soul. And being a king is not just a title. I know we in our community, we always say we're kings and we're queens.
Yes.
But you should act in those qualities.
Absolutely.
If you're not acting as a queen, I'm not going to call you a queen. If you're not acting like one. or have it be a guy that said there's a king. I say, okay, I'm not going to say anything that you're not a king, but I want to look to see how your actions going to dictate who you are.
Absolutely. I love that, because that's what I look for. I look for the fruit. The word says that you should know the tree by the fruit in which it bears. And you are embodying kingship. Because when I first met you, the humility and the grace, a real true leader first knows how to follow in order to lead. And the humility that you carry lets me know that it's authentic and lets me know it's ordained by God himself. And so I am just so excited to be in the presence of royalty, royal priesthood. That lets me know, Miranda, you're in the right place.
Yes. Royalty, recognize royalty.
Absolutely. And you cannot deny the power thereof.
Yes, absolutely.
And so that brings me to the second question. What are the most underrated qualities of a great leader? You did mention a few, people doing it for clout, but what are one of the biggest, underrated qualities of a leader, of a great leader? Because I believe great leaders are not recognized in the way they should be. People are, like I said, they recognize celebrities as leaders, but they're not really recognizing those that are not in that status yet, those that are making an impact and they're doing great things. They're on a mission and they're doing good things in their community. They're doing good things in their lifestyle, but they have not been recognized. So what do you think some of the most underrated qualities of a great leader are?
I think that one of the most underrated qualities is that people tend to forget that our leaders have personal lives.
Wow.
To be able to do some of these magnificent feats that they appear to do,
Yes.
that they forget that they are having another battle at home.
Right.
They forget that they have to have food prepared for them. They forget that there are lights at home that need to stay on. They
Correct.
forget that they have family members that live and die. And to be able to process pain and be able to process happiness and still not allow it to take you off your focus.
Yes.
So some of the ones that we see as leaders, we're only seeing half of their anointing and how they're being anointed.
Yes.
Because there's another side that we have not seen. And to be able to navigate around these obstacles, they have trophies that they have not even claimed yet.
Yes. Wow.
Some of our greatest leaders have it be anybody in the past that you may mention, or like have it be Mother Teresa,
Yes.
Martin Luther King, et cetera,
Absolutely.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
People are starting to be shocked now that because of the internet, we're starting to see and hear about things about their personal lives that years ago you never heard before.
Yes.
You never heard before that some of these individuals had cousins die, sisters, brothers, or certain ones are sick in their families.
Yes.
And and they ask the question, how are you still able to perform within your task? And that goes back to what I said again. You have to be born for it. People who are not born to do it, they'll crack, they'll fold under pressure.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. That's just amazing. It's amazing. I have another question. How do you balance vision and execution? We can see and we can know and have a sense of the vision, and to be able to execute it takes time, it takes maturity, it takes a team like you have now, being able to come together, be on one accord, because united we stand, divided we fall. And when you're united, it brings more power. And so how are you able to balance vision versus execution? How is that balanced?
You have to have focus,
Okay.
and you must maintain within yourself. You got to be optimistic about everything. You got to see the good in everything.
Yes.
And when you do that, you will develop something that I consider is called the no matter what attitude.
Oh, wow.
No matter what goes on, you got to see it being a part of something that you're trying to accomplish, to achieve, that it's a part of your journey to get to your goal. And that requires that focus that you had mentioned. You got to have that laser focus. And you must maintain that laser focus when in terms of that optimism, because you got so many elements around you trying to pull you from your focus, trying to pull you from what matters to you the most. And the distractions, the distractions. And when you generate this focus within your heart, within your soul, you go to bed with it, you wake up with it, because sometimes the ones that are around you are not going to help you along the way. They're going to be a distraction if you allow them to be. So to answer your question, you must develop the no matter what attitude, because the people of the past, the people of the past had to demonstrate that.
Absolutely.
You notice that you had people that like they speak about a great wall that you had to walk around 6 or 7 times.
Yes.
It didn't fall down the first time.
Absolutely.
It didn't fall down the second time.
Yes.
You had to have the no matter what attitude.
Absolutely.
When Moses went to Pharaoh to ask for the children of Israel to be released, it didn't happen the first time. It took several attempts. So you had to have the no matter what attitude, no matter what was going on, as well as not to mention it was time that you were feeling sick. You have health issues along the way. So you have to develop the no matter what attitude.
Yes. You guys hear that? The no matter what attitude. I'm going to put that in my survivor kit, okay? You have to, no matter what the circumstances look like, no matter what the situation is, no matter what you're faced with, you have to do it, and you have to be consistent. And that's what a true leader do. No matter what it takes, they're going to lead by example. They're going to demonstrate. They're going to put others before themselves. It's called sacrifice, you guys. And we're here on The Voice, and we're releasing our voice. We're releasing a message. We're on a mission and a mandate to impact the lives of the people through peace, through power, through demonstration. So I am encouraged on today. We have our Zoomies. I want to say hi to the Zoomies online, those that have tuned in by Zoom. We thank you guys for joining in with us today. It's a privilege and a pleasure to have you guys. If you have any comments, drop the comments in the Zoom, and we'll answer them as we go along. And so we're enjoying ourselves here. We have a great feast waiting for the king and his entourage. It's been a pleasure to be on here. It's been a pleasure to be in the midst of great power. You can feel the anointing. You can feel the glory that's in this atmosphere, that has permeated this atmosphere. And I pray that this day, that this podcast download and upload something great in you, the no matter what attitude. And so that brings us to the next question, you guys. What's your biggest leadership mistake, and what did you learn from it?
I will say this, and you know about this.
Okay.
The biggest mistake is trusting the wrong people. That is something that has been something that was taught time and time again. And it's not always from the people that you think that are your enemies.
Yes.
sometimes trusting the wrong people may be the ones that's closest to you the most.
Correct.
Um,
My
that
God.
there were times in the past that it's so many people that you want to have that you want to. They say
Bring you along with
you want to
you.
bring them,
Yes.
and you
Oh
know
my
your
God, I
vision
know
is real.
that.
You know it's true. It's like that basketball player that shoot the ball. They know it's going in the hole, and you say,
Yes.
look, I know we're gonna win this game,
Yes.
and hey, I know we're gonna go to the championship. We're gonna win, but everybody is not feeling the same way that you do. And I call it the Judas concept. See, a lot of people,
Like that.
the Judas concept.
Yes. It's
See,
real.
some people look past, and they should look beyond the stories, have it be in the Bible, have it be in the Quran, or the holy books,
Yes.
and they don't realize the example that was given.
Correct.
They were the one they called Christ. He taught you on what to do. He also taught you to what to be aware of.
Oh, yes.
And the one about when it comes to Judas, it didn't come from the Roman government. He didn't have to really worry about them. It was his own people that gave him up. The ones that he was there for to try to help. The ones that the deliverance came from.
Yes.
Some people don't realize when it came to Moses, after they got out of Egypt, his biggest problem was from his own people. It wasn't from the Egyptians. 11-day walk turned into 40 years.
Oh my
So,
God.
so once you realize that,
Mm-hmm.
that is only one great power that exists that you can trust in, and that's the one in the mirror.
Yes.
And then recognize real.
Absolutely.
When you realize who you are, then you can realize those that are around you, if they're sincere or not.
Yes.
There's a saying that we have heard on many occasions.
Yes.
When somebody show you who they are,
Believe it.
believe it.
My God.
Believe it. You got it. They don't take it 2 or 3 times for you to realize that
Yes.
person is Judas.
Correct.
And you can love Judas, but that don't mean Judas is always can be invited to the cookout.
Come on now. Absolutely.
You can love Judas. I say you can love people from a distance.
Yes.
It doesn't mean I personally don't hate no one.
Absolutely.
I hate no one from this planet.
Yes.
I hate how can I be who I am? How can I hold the name that we hold by hating anyone? But I can learn from people. I don't think that the God that created all you see and don't see, I don't think he's walking around hating the bears or the snakes.
Okay.
Or hating the things that he created.
Yes.
He just tell you beware and keep
Beware.
away from the mountain lion.
Absolutely.
And you can love the mountain lion from a distance.
From a distance.
And like I said, that has been my greatest fault in terms
Yes.
of it was a lesson. It was a blessing in the lesson. And I think once we realize that, sometimes some of the greatest dynasties caved in from inside, trusting
Wow.
the wrong people.
Absolutely. Wow, that's amazing that you said that. And I believe, the Judas is necessary. I believe it lets us know where we're at in life. It gives us a diagram of the position that we're in, because the word declares that he will prepare a table before us in the presence of the enemy. And the Judases is necessary.
Yes.
It actually lets you know who you are and where you're located in life. And it's an advantage to know that. And like you said, you can deal with them from a distance.
Yes,
But to
yes,
have the
yes,
discernment to
yes.
Recognize it,
Yes.
that's the key.
Yes.
You can know who people are and deal with them accordingly. And I feel like that's the greatest thing that we have, the gift of discernment,
Yes.
to be able to
Yes.
know who someone is and still, I love you, still
Yes, yes.
able to see them and not expose that you know who they are.
Yes,
That's a
yes,
great advantage.
yes.
Thank you for that. That's amazing.
If I may say this too.
Yes.
I remember there was a
absolutely.
movie, I don't recall exactly which one it was.
Yes.
But I believe it was The Godfather. I think it was part 3, where his son, the Godfather's son, had became the next Don,
Yes.
and his son was upset about there was somebody they was planning to do something to him, and the father got mad at the son because the son wanted to seek revenge on the people that was plotting against him, and he grabbed him. He said he slapped him or something like that. If I remember correctly, I've seen so many
Yes.
movies.
Okay.
But I did get the lesson from it. He said, no,
Yes.
don't get upset. Don't get mad at these people because it clouds your judgment.
Wow.
Do not get mad at your enemy. Love them versus hating them, because if you hate them, it clouds your judgment. As a matter of fact, the great Muhammad Ali once said, some of the people that he did have a chance to fight, the ones that he fought, he wasn't stronger than they were. He was not faster than they were. What he did, he got them upset.
Wow.
Once he was able to get in their head, then he was able to win the bout. So try to keep the positive attitude and
Yes.
stay happy from
Hmm.
within.
And they said it's better to, there is a saying that said it's better with sugar than it is with salt.
Absolutely,
So it's better to
absolutely,
be sweet and love them and not let them know that you know who they are and go along with that. So that's
absolutely,
amazing.
absolutely, absolutely.
Well, it's amazing. I have another question for you. But before we get to that question, I wanted to know, I know you have the great Royal Ball coming up. And I want the people to know, what is this Royal Ball that everyone is talking about? We want to know.
Okay, the Royal Ball is an annual fair that we
Yes.
have here, and we also had something similar to that in Ghana when we
Oh,
had
wow.
something very similar. And what we try to do, we try to give everyone who have not experienced royalty a chance to just have a chance to put on their best outfit, come
Okay.
out there and experience something that is different, but
Yes.
yet where you don't have to worry about looking over your shoulder, and you
Okay.
can feel good about yourself. You can come and
Yes.
see beautiful exotic animals,
Oh,
have
wow.
wonderful live entertainment,
Okay.
and have a chance to see how it is to walk beside a camel or a
Oh,
giraffe,
wow.
and you can take photos with them.
It's
And it's
amazing.
always for a great cause. All the
Yes.
money and the proceeds go towards all our charities all across the country and around the world to help others that need it the most.
Yes. Well, that's amazing. So you guys heard it. The Royal Fest is coming up in, what is it? In
We're looking to do it this year in November in
November.
Florida.
Yes. So
Some
be
of the
looking for
details.
that. Looking for the details when it's posted. I will repost it and I
Thank you.
would
Thank
promote
you.
it.
Thank you.
Yes. That's a beautiful thing that you guys are doing. We also have in November the breakthrough experience where we are speaking. We have motivational speakers coming from all over the world. And what we're doing is impacting individuals through our voice, and giving them the gems, the knowledge, the wisdom on how to be entrepreneurs, how to run businesses, but most importantly, the proximity of being with people who have already done it and people of great influence that have the fruit and the evidence to show who they are. We're giving individuals the information that's going to cause them to catapult in the entrepreneurship, industry, and giving them things that would keep them ahead of the game.
Yes.
Something
Yes.
that would take someone a year to accomplish, they'll probably accomplish it in a month with the information that we're going to release. So you guys stay tuned for the Breakthrough Experience Conference in November and the Royal events, the Royal Festival.
I'm going to make sure that we um, be attendants of that because that's what it takes to be a great leader. You're no greater than your circle.
Oh, wow.
You have to have great people around you to become great. If you want to see somebody that's not great, I know what type of circle you hang in and the people you
Yes.
hang around. So I'll make sure, see, we can work that out.
Absolutely, yes. It'll be a pleasure and an honor. And I love it. I love the bringing each other together.
Yes,
It's going to take
yes,
us to come together to impact this nation, with enough great influence, enough peace, enough positivity. I believe it would change the trajectory of where this nation and where this country is going in the direction we're headed, and it will bring a shift.
yes,
What this
yes,
country needs, what America needs is a shift. We got to
absolutely.
shift the trajectory of what we're experiencing and shift the mindsets by demonstration because there's a lot of people that talk a good game. They talk the positive talk, but to live it and to demonstrate it through our lifestyle, is even more impactful. And I
Yes,
love it. I'm
yes,
absolutely
yes,
a fan of what you're doing.
yes.
And, I'm honored to be here. It's a pleasure. It's a
Pleasure's all
pleasure.
mine.
Absolutely. And so it brings us to our last question. How can emerging leaders prepare for the future of business? This is a good one, you guys. You guys want to stay tuned for this.
Well, the biggest problem that a lot of us tend to have, because I've seen several book writers, everyone, you have people that want to open up stores, have it be retail, have it be, you find a lot of people that's doing real estate. The problem is that a lot of our people tend to find their way out of the box because you hear it all the time. It's taught in school. Think
Yes.
outside the box. Think outside the box. But they don't teach you that once you get to that point and you think outside the box, we oftentimes jump into another box. and we shield ourselves in the next box and not be open to explore other boxes. We stop there.
Yes.
That's why it's good to have it be business, have it be your spirituality. Always keep an open mind to learn, to expand, because our biggest problem, and if you're going to be valuable in the future, you have to be open minded to say, to make sure that you just haven't landed into another box, that you're going to make sure that you're open minded to explore other boxes, to expand your mind, to expand your thinking, so you can be an asset not only in your community, but to the world too. Because not only do we have real estate all across the country, we have property in Ghana, we have property in the islands, but we have a prison ministry. We are friends with all people of faith, all the faiths. Is something that said that when it comes to the person that people love the most, I'm all things to all men. So anybody's church, anybody's organization, if we are invited, I have no problem as long as it's righteous. We have no problem attending. The thing is, oftentimes when a leader, they tend to segregate themselves,
Wow.
and they think they're the only way, and they don't leave their mind open.
Absolutely.
And I encourage everyone to always leave their options open. Our prison ministry is a great platform for those that need a second chance or sometimes third chance. We have that for them. We have those of different communities in terms of the academic community, have it be a part of the conscious community, have it be to those that may be have forgotten when they look in the mirror, who they are.
Yes.
We have something for everybody.
It's amazing.
Because the truth of the matter is, it was only one, sometimes two decisions that changed the fact that we are not where they're at anyway. So we got to be compassionate over the fact that we could have been them. So
Correct.
to answer your question,
Yes.
keep your mind open.
Keep your mind open. You guys hear that? Keep your mind open. Yes, when you keep your mind open, you keep your options open, and you always want to explore new options. The world that we live in today, it's always reinventing itself through technology. So you want to have an open mind. You want to create new strategies, new methodologies, new techniques in order to be ahead of the game, in order to be advanced, in order to see the next new thing that's going on. And so I love what he said. You have to keep an open mind. So that brings us to the end of our podcast on today, The Voice. And like I said, you guys are about to experience something good, something great. This movement that King Yahweh and his entourage is on is a movement that you want to be a part. Whatever way you can support, whatever way you can be a part, this is a movement that's changing lives. It's a generational change. It's a mission of peace, a mission of love. And wherever there's love there is power. You want to be in the proximity of this. You want to be in the proximity of those individuals that's not just speaking about it, but living it. And so I am honored. If there's any more final things you want to leave with our audience and the people on today that's watching, a message that could change the trajectory of someone's life that's watching the Voice podcast.
Praise Yahweh.
Yes.
I want people to understand, if they really want to find God, if they really truly want to find God, look into the eyes of their neighbor, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Yes.
So every hand I shake, I tell people all the time, I worship you because I know what's inside of you.
Yes.
And for that reason, I love you. And for that reason, I will never find reason to try to hate you. I'll find reasons to love you even more.
Yes.
So maybe together, even though we may have differences, maybe we grew up different, but maybe we can roll up our sleeves together. Absolutely. And then we can figure out this problem so we can change the world together. Absolutely. And look good doing it.
Yes, I like that. I like that one. So there you guys have it. It's been an honor. It's been a privilege here on the Voice Podcast. Check us out for the next episode. And you guys, if you want to be a part of the Royal, you're going to put it in? You're going to clip it in? Okay.
I'll clip this part out.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay, I wanted to put your website.
Oh,
Your
okay.
website.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, I'm going to let him put his website. You can
Yes.
tell the people your website. You know it better than me.
Ask one more time.
Okay. So if you guys want to follow the movement of King Yahweh, you can follow him at.
Hey, if you don't mind, I like to say this.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
People ask all the time, what do you do? What do you do? What do we live in a Googleable age.
Yes.
Everything is Googleable.
Yes.
We've been Googleable for 2 decades. Go to kingyahweh.com or the
Yes.
Kingdom of Yahweh. We are
Yahweh.
very Googleable. And if
Okay.
they forget the .com or .org, just
Yes.
type in King Yahweh.
King Yahweh, you guys heard it. Thank you. Thank you.